Welcome to Leadership Bites, a series of short videos designed to help you understand the elements of great leadership. So what exactly does great leadership look like? There are hundreds of examples of successful leaders, and not all great leadership looks the same. At the core of leadership is an essential skill set of competency, the technical skills, knowledge and know-how of business works, and it goes beyond that. From people like Steve Jobs, who inspired his workforce through passion, to Mahatma Gandhi, who led his nation to freedom through calm persistence, to Angela Merkel as Chancellor of Germany, who is known for her leadership during the European financial crisis, not all leaders look alike. Yet something in what they do sets them apart. Each of these leaders inspired followers. Each one of us can lead. The question we need to ask ourselves is, what type of leader am I likely to be? There are three areas to consider. The first is self-awareness. Do you know how you come across to other people? Are you a roaring lion or quiet as a kitten? And how do you know if your perceptions are correct? What's it like to be around you when you are at your very best as well as your not so best? The second area is to understand your strengths and limitations as perceived by the people around you. What are you really good at as a potential leader, and where are the gaps? There are some people with self-awareness who understand their strengths and limitations, but they don't want to move to stage 3, adapting to their surroundings, consciously modifying their behaviors to the situation and people around them to bring out the best in others. This last stage is where the difference is. Great leaders create the conditions where others can grow and bring their best to work every day. So how do you know if you have what it takes? If you're an aspiring leader, or you're already in the role of leading others, do you have the skill set it takes to be the best leader? Are you an ace in place? ACE means, do you have the right action, cognition, and emotion to lead others? Action is your behavior. It's what people see. Do you consistently display the types of behaviors that others appreciate? As a leader, do you have a preference for making all the decisions and directing people, or being friendly and influencing people? Cognition is how fast your brain responds to new and novel information. As a leader, do you pick up things so fast your people can't keep up with you, or does it take you a longer time to buy into new ways of doing things? And your emotionality. Do you have the right emotional load to be the best leader? Are you too empathetic and potentially people can take advantage of you? Or are you too assertive where people may be concerned about approaching you? You may want to know, how can I find my own strengths and limitations? The fastest way is to gain self-awareness by taking a valid and robust psychometric assessment. We work with Thomas International, the largest independent global provider of psychometric assessments. Let's look further at 3 main assessments that measure your action, cognition, and emotional intelligence. The PPA, or Personal Profile Analysis, is a workplace behavioral assessment that takes less than 10 minutes to complete. This assessment has been taken by more than 32 million people globally, and it gives you an accurate perspective of your workplace behavioral preferences. It can help you answer such questions as, how do I prefer to behave in the workplace? And how am I currently modifying my behavior? Plus, it can answer a critical question for leadership, how am I likely to behave under extreme pressure? The GIA, or General Intelligence Assessment, is not a measure of IQ. The GIA is a measure of how fast your brain takes in and responds to new and novel information, and how likely you are to respond to a heavy cognitive workload. The GIA helps you answer questions such as, how quickly do I learn new and novel information? What would this mean in leadership? And am I likely to prefer a changing environment or a stable one? The GIA can provide a context for innovation and new ways of thinking, and how fast you're likely to learn all the skills that you need. The TQ, or Trait Emotional Intelligence Questionnaire, is the underpinning of who you are. It's your emotional blueprint. This assessment looks at your perception of your capacity for 15 different facets of emotionality, including areas such as empathy, assertiveness, adaptability, and stress management. It helps you answer questions like, how do I perceive my own emotionality? What areas of my emotionality may I need to modify? And is my emotional blueprint a help or hindrance to me as a leader? It's whether you have the right emotional load to do the job. If you're curious to know more about yourself and you're interested to take the assessments, contact your HR department. Once you know your overall makeup with behavioral preferences, cognitive agility, and emotional capacity, you'll have a clear picture of your strengths and potential limitations as a leader. Check out the other videos in the Leadership Bites series to learn more about leadership.